Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Chag Sameach, Hanukkah Sameach. I'll have to turn my heads to you. And it feels quite nice to be in an intimate space, especially after this big rain. We are going to be singing a few Hanukkah songs, a few songs for the soul, for the happiness of our hearts. And then there's a few surprises and a few other beats in there. You probably know the lyrics, so please join if you feel like it. באנו חושך לגרש, בידינו אור ואש, כל אחד הוא אור קטן, וכולנו אור איתן. צאו החושך אל השחור, צאו מפני האור, צאו החושך אל השחור, צאו מפני האור. We all come from Byron Bay, so we have to start with reggae, you know? That's how it goes over there. The Jewish reggae. Let's sing together, come on. באנו חושך לגרש, בידינו אור ואש, כל אחד הוא אור קטן, וכולנו אור איתן. צאו החושך אל השחור, צאו מפני האור, צאו החושך אל השחור, צאו מפני האור. We're going to send some love to all the people out there in their homes, in the live stream that is happening right now. This is a limited space after all, so lucky we all squeezed in. And you out there at home, you can sing with us too. באנו חושך לגרש, בידינו אור ואש, כל אחד הוא אור קטן, וכולנו אור איתן. צאו החושך אל השחור, צאו מפני האור, צאו החושך אל השחור, צאו מפני האור. Okay, people, here we go. This is when we get together, and it's very symbolic to this holiday that we get together and we shine the light all as one. In this case, we're going to sing together, and I'm sure that you know the lyrics. Okay, guitar in the crowd, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and באנו חושך לגרש, בידינו אור ואש, כל אחד הוא אור קטן, וכולנו אור איתן. צאו החושך אל השחור, צאו מפני האור, צאו החושך אל השחור, צאו מפני האור. So nice to be here. So it's nice to welcome everyone with a little bit of a high energy and smiles all around. And just now, as we're in this beautiful, quiet, intimate, holy space, we're just all going to go within for a second and send a beautiful prayer called Nishmat Kol Chai to every living soul in this world, wherever they are. If you could mute your phones, that would be excellent. Thank you. נשמת כל חי תברך את שמך אדוני אלוהינו ורוח כל בשר תפאר ותרומם זכרך מלכנו תמיד מן העולם ועד העולם אתה אל מבלעדיך אין לנו מלך גואל ומושיע ודאו מציל ועונה ומרחם וחולץ צרו וסוכה אין לנו מלך אין לנו נשמת כל חי תברך את שמך אדוני אלוהינו והרוח כל בשר תפאר ותרומם זכרך מלכנו תמיד מן העולם ועד העולם אתה אל ומבלעדיך אין לנו מלך גואל ומושיע ודאו Zaka לעשות אפיים ותרומם זכרך ומלכנו תמיד. מן העולם ועד העולם התואר ומבלעדיך אין לנו מלך גואל ומושיע ודאו Thank you. I hope our collective prayer will be sent to the right places and will reach the right hearts. We got one more song for this section, and then we're gonna, start the other plans that are coming. Yeah? We're getting kicked off. It's a beautiful song. It's Sha'ar Petach Dodi. It says, "Open the gates, my beloved," and it's an ancient love song. שעה אשר נסגר, קומה פתחהו. שעה אשר נסגר, קומה פתחהו. וצבי אשר ברח אליי שלחהו. וצבי אשר ברח אליי שלחהו. נשגה, קום הפתח הוא. Thank you very much. חג שמח, we'll be back.
Another round of applause for the band. And they will be back. Well, welcome to Hanukkah in the City 2020, coming to you live here in Brisbane or online, thanks to Australian News Online. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the ancient lands on which this amazing synagogue is built, the Yagara and the Turrbal people, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. To Minister Linnard, to Councillor Howard, to communal leaders, ladies and gentlemen, everyone who's here today. My name is Jason Steinberg. I'm the Vice President of the Queensland Jewish Board of Deputies. And I actually look back in my records and it was 10 years ago, almost to the day, that I emceed this event, but in a very different environment. We were outside, we were in beautiful star-lit skies, and I bet that the Rabbi and our event manager Bronte Trigger wishes that we were like that. But just as the Maccabees in the ancient times of Hanukkah created an amazing miracle to rise up above the Greek and the most powerful army, we've come up against our challenges today, but also throughout 2020. We've been up against the virus, which is COVID, and aren't we lucky in Queensland to be here while communities all around the globe that would normally meet in open air, in environments like synagogues like this, to celebrate Hanukkah, and they can't, but we can. So thanks to the Queensland Government, the Australian Government and our Brisbane City Council for making sure that we're all safe and be able to celebrate Hanukkah today. And our community has got a lot to be thankful for this year in 2020. It's been one of dedication, enthusiasm and excitement. Dedication and commitment from our community leaders, whether that be in Cairns or Sunshine Coast, Brisbane or the Gold Coast, who've all banded together to keep our community safe. We can celebrate our religion safely, even in COVID times, and we've been able to be together. Enthusiasm, because we've taken this time to be upbeat about our community and rejuvenated so many great things within our community. And excitement. We've had some big announcements in our community in 2020. The first was the announcement of the development of the Hall precinct behind us, which will happen over the next coming years and completely change the way that this, our oldest congregation and our oldest organisation operates. And in September and October of this year, we had the announcement of the establishment of a Queensland Holocaust Museum and Tolerance Centre to educate the children and adults of Queensland about the atrocities of the Holocaust and other genocides. So we have a lot to be thankful for. And this time of Hanukkah is an amazing time to be with our families and celebrate. And I'd now like to welcome Rabbi Jaffe, who is the organiser and convener of tonight's event, to share his message. Please welcome Rabbi Jaffe.
Thank you, Jason, for those warm, lovely words. Happy Hanukkah to everybody. Distinguished guests, Honored Linard, Minister for Children and Youth and Justice and Minister for Multicultural Affairs. Thank you for joining us. Councillor Vicky Howard, Deputy Chair of the City Planning and Deputy Chair of Council, Community and Council. And Mr. Paul Myers, President of the Queensland Jewish Board of Deputies. Aaron Goldman, President of the Brisbane Hebrew Congregation. Communal leaders, ladies and gentlemen. It's such a pleasure to welcome you here this evening for the fourth night of Hanukkah in the middle of our beautiful city. I'd like to particularly extend our thanks to the Brisbane Synagogue, with literally only a few hours' notice, hosting this event here tonight. It's just incredible to see and to experience the amazing support and outpouring of love from so many people in order for us to be able to celebrate this very special and wonderful event. We extend our sincere thanks to the Queensland Government and to the Brisbane City Council for their generous sponsorship of Hanukkah in the city. Hanukkah is all about publicizing the miracle. It's the only Jewish festival that we celebrate out there in the public domain. And that is because Hanukkah's message is a message for the whole world. A message of light, a message of hope and optimism, and a message that ultimately good will always prevail over evil, and holiness and purity over unholiness and impurity. Tonight we're lighting 4 candles. There's an interesting discussion at the Talmud about how we celebrate Hanukkah. Do we celebrate each night by adding another candle? Or one of the other rabbis and the sages says we should light 8 on the first night, and then 7, and then 6, because that's how many days we have left of the festival. And tonight we have 4 candles there on the menorah, which is half full. And you know, the whole world has just come out of, or is emerging from, still many people are suffering from, the COVID. And this is something that has affected every single human being on the planet. And while it's been a very challenging time, but there's been amazing unity, amazing goodwill, and amazing togetherness among humanity from all walks of life, from all races. And really Hanukkah, especially having the 4 candles on the menorah tonight, reminds us always to look at the cup half full, and to always find the positive energy and the positive message in everything that we experience. And as Jason mentioned, we here in Queensland have been very fortunate and very blessed that we've been able to go through this crisis in a far better way than many other people in many other countries and communities around the world. And we're very fortunate and very blessed that we can even have this event here today. And so the menorah, especially tonight, reminds us to always find the positive in everything, and to be able to emerge from this challenge better people, more together as a community, as a humanity, that to be able to understand and be tolerant of one another, and to be able to respect one another. And this is really one of the powerful messages that Hanukkah conveys to all of us. Tonight, even though we're not in the middle of the city out there in Redcliffe Place, but due to modern technology, and thanks to Rafi Siegel up there who reached out to us, thank you Rafi. Rafi's moved up from Melbourne, he's a videographer. Thank you very much Rafi, so much for coming here and being part of tonight's event. But because of the modern technology, we have the capacity to take this event even further afield than under normal circumstances. So although it was a big challenge that we had to move from the usual place to here, but as a result, more people are actually getting to see and experience the miracle of Hanukkah. So the objective of Hanukkah, publicizing the miracle, is actually become emphasized and amplified as a result of what's happening here tonight. The event wouldn't have been made possible without the exceptional dedication and commitment from our many communal volunteers who come out in force year after year with such incredible generosity of spirit and cheer. We are wholeheartedly grateful to each and every one of you for your amazing contribution towards the success of this event. And in particular, we extend our deep thanks and sincere appreciation to two Sinai College graduates, Bronte Trieger and Sharni Briner, who have done an absolutely incredible job putting together this event. And the last few hours, the way they graciously just took everything on board and amazingly just put it all together, organized everything, is just incredible. And a big round of applause for their incredible organizational skills. I'd like to also mention Itzik and Esther Balul, the food managers of this event, a little bit different than usual, and our sons Yisrael and Dovi, who came up from Melbourne to assist us with the on-site management. Also, as Jason mentioned, we've had, thanks to the Australian online, we have the capacity to be able to streamline this live, and we appreciate and we extend to them our deep thanks for the ability to be able to do this. As we celebrate Hanukkah this evening, our hearts and prayers are with the millions of people and their families who are suffering from COVID, and the medical personnel and others literally risking their lives on the front lines. The gentle lights of the menorah represent the prevailing light over darkness and freedom over tyranny. And so too, our menorah flames that we're going to light shortly will demonstrate to all of us how each and every one of us as individuals has the capacity to illuminate the world and extinguish the blazing destruction out there, and to bring true and eternal blessings to our community, our country, and to the entire universe. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important people in our community are our children. And their prayers and their words have the power, according to Jewish tradition, to break all barriers and to penetrate the very heavens. And we're very fortunate to have with us a group of children from our community who are going to honor us with reading some special verses from the Torah, from Jewish texts. And we're going to call the children, thanks Tim. This man, Tim, I would like to make a special mention. Tim Tainish has been with us now for several years doing the AV, and he's an amazing person. And I just want to say, Tim, we really deeply appreciate your amazing support. When we found out that we weren't able to have the event in the city this afternoon, Tim was just incredible. Just like, okay, no problem. Let's make it happen. And thank you, Tim. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're very proud to call out Basia Jaffe and Laura Factor to lead us in the first Torah verse, which is a verse, Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe, which is the verse which reminds us that the Torah was bequeathed to all of us from Moses as a gift and an inheritance to every single one of us. Put your faces near the microphone. Say nice and loud. Say Torah.
Torah.
Repeat after them. Torah.
Tziva. Lanu. Moshe. Merasha. Kehilat. Yaakov.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much, girls. Okay, and the next verse will be recited. Shema. Shema Yisrael. We'd like to invite to say the Shema, Yasmin, together with Rivka. Shema Yisrael is the basic declaration of faith in the one God.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Excellent, well done, beautiful. That was very, very nice. And the next verse will be recited by Eliana Hale and Rivka again. B'chol dor v'dor is a quote from the Haggadah, from the Passover service, where we remind ourselves that in every generation we should see ourselves as if we actually came out of Egypt. Okay, nice and long.
Bechol.
Everyone together. Bechol.
Bechol. Dor. Vador. Chayav. Adam. Lirot. Et. Atzmo. Ki'ilu. Hu. Yatsa. Mimitzrayim.
Beautiful, well done. Okay. And the next verse is Kal Yisrael yesh lahem chelek le'olam haba, that we all have a share in the world to come. This world is not the be-all and end-all, but we go on from this world to a much better eternal world. And we have the pleasure of inviting Lauren again and Ilana, her sister, Facta.
Kol Yisrael Yesh Lahem Chelek La'olam Habad Shenem Va'eh Kulam Tzadikim La'olam Yeshu Aves Natseh Mata'ai Ma'aseh Yadai Lehita'el.
Well done, give them a round. Very nice, good job. And the next verse, number 5, Ki karov elecha, is a verse from Deuteronomy that is really close for all of us to be able to bring into our lives, in our mouths, in our words, and in our heart, to observe the precepts of the Torah. Ki karov elecha, we're going to ask for this verse. Yes, the Carvis children will have Lior and Ellie. Okay, everyone please say nice and loud after them if you don't mind. Thank you.
Ki Karov Elecha Adava Ma'od Bevicha Uvivacha La'asota.
Well done, very nice, beautiful. And the next verse, V'hinei Hashem Nitzav. The next verse reminds us how God is always watching us. He's there with us all the time in the recesses of our hearts. God's presence is always there, and that will be recited by Lauren and Alana again. Unfortunately, some of the children were not able to make it, so we have some doubles up over here. Ilana and Lauren, thank you very much. Next one. Okay, are you ready? Yeah, I'll hold the mic.
V'nehei
Hashem,
Hashem
Nitzav,
Nitzav
Halav,
Halav Umulo
Hal,
Chal
Haaretz,
Haaretz
Kevodo,
Kevodo
Umabit,
Umabit
Alav,
Alav
Ovochen,
Ovochen
Klayot,
Chayot
Valev,
Valev
Im,
Im
Ovdo,
Avdo
Karaui.
Ka'ui.
Beautiful, well done. And the next verse is Bereshit bara Elokim. It's the very first verse in the whole Torah. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Rafi White and Zach Ohana. Zach Ohana, are you here, Zach? Is Zach with us? No? Okay, all right, that's fine, no problem. How about we'll have Yasmin and Rivka again. Okay, here we go. Yasmin and Rivka again. Bereshit bara Elokim. Thank you very much, girls. Okay, nice and loud. Are you ready?
Bereshit bara Elohim eight Hashamayim ve'eit haaretz.
Beautiful. Well done. That was fantastic. That was unprepared. And the next one. This is a very special one here. We have a young man. He's actually the youngest person who comes to our Cheder classes. His name is Jacob Cohen, and he's going to be doing it with his mother, Simone. Veshinantam levanecha is from Deuteronomy. You shall diligently teach your children to speak the words of the Torah when you lie down, when you sit in your house, when you go on the way, when you lie down, and when you wake up. This is from the Shema. Okay, you ready, Jacob? Here we go. Vishinantam.
Veshinantam.
Vishinantam. Say, Levanecha.
Levanecha.
Levanecha. Vedibarta.
Vetibarta.
Oh, see, he knows it. Veshiftecha.
Beshiftecha. Beve.
Teha.
Veitecha. Good. Uvelech.
Lechle.
Overweha.
Vader.
Vate.
Fade.
Rech.
Re.
Re.
Uveshachbecha.
Ove shochbe.
Ma.
Uvekul.
Uvkul.
Of to.
Mecha.
Meha.
Good boy, well done. Fantastic. Wow, that is amazing. Well done, Jacob. Okay. And the next one is the verse, which is a very important one to remind us that without hard work, we won't succeed in life. If you want to succeed, it only comes through hard work. If someone tells you they succeeded without hard work, don't believe them. If somebody tells you that they worked hard and they didn't succeed, also don't believe them. But if they say we worked hard and we succeeded, then we do believe them. Number 9, Lior and Ellie again, please.
Yagati. Belolo. Matsati. Al. Tamim. Logati. Umatsati. Al. Tamim. Yagati. Umatsati. Tamim.
Wow, excellent, well done, fantastic. And now we have Lior and Ellie's little sister, Ahava, who will come out together with, wants to come out with Ahava? Lauren, you want to come out with Ahava? Yep, come on, out you come. Or how about we'll have Nitza with her? Nitza, you can come with Ahava. Okay, Ahava and Nitza together. This one is one of the most important principles of all of Judaism and all of the Torah, which is you should love your neighbor as yourself. Rabbi Akiva taught us this is the most important principle of the Torah. Ready, nice and loud. Okay, what is it?
Ba'ahavta.
8.
8. Adonai. Elohecha.
So, again. L'reacha.
Roecha.
Kamocha.
Kamocha.
Rabbi.
Rabbi.
Akiva.
Akiva.
Omer.
Omer.
Zeh.
Zeh.
Klal.
Cloud.
Gadol.
Gadol.
Batorah.
Batorah.
Excellent, well done. That was fantastic. Okay, and now, almost done. We're now up to number 11. Number 11 is V'zeh Joseph Marcus. And Eden, if he's here. I don't know if Eden is here. I don't know if Eden made it. Okay, you ready, Joseph? Hold on a second, let me just get this right. Okay. Right. V'zeh kol ha'adam is talking about the ultimate purpose of why we are here in this world is to create a dwelling place for the Almighty in the lower realms in this physical universe. You ready? V'zeh
Veze.
kol
Kol.
ha'adam
Ha'adam.
v'tachlit
V'tachlit.
b'riyato
B'riato.
u'v'riyat
Uvriat.
kol
Kol.
ha'olamot
Holamot.
elyonim
Elyonim.
v'tachtonim
ותחתונים, להיות,
לא
לא,
דירה
זו,
בתחתונים.
בתחתונים.
Beautiful, well done. Good boy. Joseph is having his bar mitzvah soon. And finally, the last one. Eliana Hale and Basi Jaffe. For the last one, Yismach Yisrael. Yismach Yisrael is how joyous we are in the special privilege that we have to be in this world and to serve God and to bring joy to the Almighty through our service. Ready?
Yismach. Yisrael. Ba'asam. Perush. Shekol. Mi. Shehu. Mizera. Yisrael. Yesh. Lo. Lismoach. Besimchat. Betachtonim.
Beautiful. Well done. That was fantastic. Well done. Beautiful. Thank you very much.
What I've always liked about the Jewish faith, which forms a foundation, frankly, for my own, is that it makes room for both the joy and the sorrow of life. It recognises that our hardships make us more compassionate, that our challenges make us more whole human beings. Experience teaches us that we can't always control life, but we can always seek to become better versions of ourselves. And in so doing, heal a broken world. This year has been one of those years, one of the toughest in the lives of all Australians. And people in the Jewish community and well beyond have faced great adversity and made heartbreaking sacrifices. But the challenges of this year have also reminded us of what connects us most deeply: our human vulnerability, our dependence on each other, and the importance of our common hope for a better world. The celebration of Hanukkah is a powerful expression of confidence in the future. It recalls the miracle of a single vial of oil burning for 8 days. It tells us that even when things seem bleak, a light will continue to shine. And in many ways, that is what we have witnessed again this year. Australians making sacrifices one for the other. Emergency services volunteers responding to the call. Researchers working on a vaccine. Employers and employees coming together in cooperation to journey through this difficult time together. We saw the light of what we shared rather than the darkness that separates. I wish the Jewish people of Australia a light-filled Hanukkah.
Thank you for Prime Minister being in this beautiful synagogue with us. It was his first time in our synagogue, so terrific moment there. It's now my pleasure to introduce someone who's also first time here in the synagogue. It's our Queensland Minister for Children, Youth Justice and Minister for Multicultural Affairs, Leanne Leonard. The Minister was appointed to her role earlier this month, or last month, and it's an absolute pleasure for us to welcome her here to the synagogue and address us on Hanukkah. Just to give you a bit of background for the Minister, she grew up in Banyo, just in the north side of Brisbane, where she attended Virginia State Primary School and was school captain of Banyo State High School, which is now called Earnshaw College. And she's the daughter of a RAF pilot and engineer, so she's grown up knowing the value of community service. It's so wonderful to have you here, Minister, and will you please welcome Minister Leonard to address us.
Thank you so much, and thank you for that warm introduction. I'm starting to feel a bit old when people talk about being school captain in grade 12. The years have marched on, Jason, but I'm still proud of that and my local roots. But can I start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Can I warmly acknowledge Councillor Vicky Howard? We see each other at many, many events and it's always a pleasure to see you. Also, can I acknowledge Rabbi Jaffe? It's so lovely to meet you. This is our first meeting, but I know it won't be our last. Mr. Paul Myers, President of the Queensland Jewish Board of Deputies. Pleasure to meet you and I look forward to working with you in the coming years, Paul. Also to Jason Steinberg, Vice President, emceeing tonight. Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, and of course our most special guests, boys and girls. Those readings were absolutely beautiful. I was so impressed. Well, shalom, good evening, and thank you for your kind invitation to attend this evening. I pass on our Premier, Anastasia Palaszczuk's warm regards and apologies that she couldn't be here today. As Jason said, this is my first time celebrating Hanukkah with you as Minister for Multicultural Affairs. So thank you for asking me to join with you this year in the lighting of the menorah. From my heart, this is a privilege and an honour. It is comforting to know, despite the disjointed and trying year that we have had, traditions and rituals continue to bring us together and ground us with their longevity. And of course, for over 2,000 years, this Festival of Lights has brought people together to celebrate the triumph of light over darkness, to celebrate justice over injustice. It is a message needed as much now in 2020 as the world suffers as it was in 200 BC. This amazing menorah reminds us of the liberties we enjoy in Queensland, of free speech, self-expression and free will. Integral values that as a mother of 2 young boys, I want my children to grow up with. That as Minister for Children and Multicultural Affairs, I want all children to grow up with. While we wish for a bright and positive society for our children to inherit, it is also beholden on us to protect rights, dignities and respect for all. In this regard, our government has committed to refer the Cohesive Communities Coalition's options paper entitled Serious Vilification and Hate Crime, the Need for Legislative Reform, to Parliamentary Committee for Community Consultation and Review. Because though challenging, difficult conversations must be had and injustice faced, or it will propagate. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Queensland Jewish community for your advocacy and long-term relationship with the Palaszczuk government. I very much look forward to working with Queensland's diverse cultural and religious communities and leaders over the coming 4 years. It is also wonderful news that as part of the Palaszczuk government's recent election commitments, that $3.5 million was committed towards the establishment of the Brisbane Holocaust Museum and Educational Centre, which I know has been a long-term dream for many of you here this evening. As the Queensland Government Minister with carriage over this project, I look forward to meeting with the Jewish Board of Deputies early in the new year to discuss the plans for this museum. School children, families, visitors and all Queenslanders will no doubt benefit from this new facility, and our government is pleased to be a part of it. It has been a pleasure to attend my first Hanukkah with you this evening. I know that it was not as you would have wished, being outside with all of the events, but can I say it is an absolute pleasure to join with you, and I'm so glad that our government and my department could continue to fund this wonderful celebration tonight. I wish you all a happy Hanukkah, and I thank you and look forward to working with you in the 4 years.
Thank you very much, Minister, for those words. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Councillor Vicky Howard to you. Vicky is a great supporter, a wonderful supporter of our community. She's been a Brisbane City Councillor since 2012 and now is a long-serving civic cabinet member of Lord Mayor Adrian Trina's cabinet, and she chairs the Community Arts and Nighttime Economy Committee. So please welcome Vicky.
Thank you very much, Jason, and can I also begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians and paying my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and to thank Minister Leanne for her lovely introduction, and Paul, it's always wonderful to be here, and to each and every one of you that are here in this beautiful synagogue. I know it's not quite Redcliffe Place, and I know that it's not sort of outside, and the beautiful festival that we've had for, I think, for 20 years. And so it is always wonderful, though, to be in this beautiful synagogue. I've been here many times and I know that it is such a wonderful place of peace. And it's wonderful for us, therefore, to say Happy Hanukkah to each and every one of us in this wonderful synagogue. Can I say, however, that I'm here tonight representing Adrian Trina, our Lord Mayor. And Adrian is a very, very big supporter of not only the Jewish community, but our very diverse communities right across Brisbane. I think that Brisbane is one of the most special places in the entire universe, and that's because we have such a diverse community. But it's a community that is a wonderfully warm and friendly community, and I know that this year has seen many challenges, and as Leanne says, we are all working together to try and make sure that we all get through this, and I think we are. I know that there will be dancing next week, so we're really happy about that. And some of the venues in the area that I represent in Fortitude Valley are very much looking forward to being able to dance. I also know that everyone who is here tonight is looking forward to renewal in 2021, and I think that we are all blessed to be able to know that we have made it through this year, that we are looking forward to 2021, and that with each other we will go forward to make sure that 2021 delivers the wonderful things that we all wish for. So on behalf of Lord Mayor Adrian Schrinner, and on behalf of all of my council colleagues, can I wish each and every one of you a happy Hanukkah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vicky, for those words. Now comes a time, like in every Hanukkah celebration, where we get to light the candles, or we don't, but the Rabbi and Minister Leonard will, and the Hanukkah will be lit just here, and the Rabbi and the Minister will do that now.
And therefore it's only appropriate that we should ask the minister to light the shamash for us tonight. So please, if you don't mind, that needs to be pushed into as you pull things, isn't it? Thank you very much. Okay, you can just hold on to that. I'll take this one. Okay. Everyone please rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim l'avoseinu bayamim ha'hem b'zman hazeh. Blessed are you, God, Master of the universe, who has sanctified us with the mitzvah of lighting the menorah. Blessed are you, God, Master of the universe, who has performed miracles for us in those days and in these days too. Hanei erois halalu anu madli yikin al atshuos v'al anisim v'al hanifloos she'asisa lavoseinu bayamim hahem bizman hazeh Al yedei kohanecha hakadoshim v'chol shemay nasimei Chanukah ne'er salalu kodeshem v'yein lanu reshuvos lehishtamesh bohein ela liroisam bilvad kedei lohodeis lehalel l'shimcha hagadol al nisecha v'yal nifloisecha v'yal Yeshua Yisecha. These candles that we've lit, that we've just kindled, they remind us of the miracles that we experienced and how through incredible miracles we persevered and we were able to relight the lights of the candelabra in the temple. So Chanukah Sameach to all. I believe we have the 8th day all the way from California will lead us in the Moas Tzur.
What I've always liked about
Happy Hanukkah to everybody in the Brisbane community. We remember fondly being with you guys in the historic Brisbane Synagogue. We hope to see you again in person very soon. It's Hanukkah time. Let's celebrate. Sing along. Here we go.
No fighter plane, no battleship can crush what's pure and sweet. It's that last drop of oil, just won't see defeat. It keeps our little hopping flame dancing to the beat. It's that last drop of oil, we're taking to the street.
We'll just sing Mars Soar before we start the clip.
It's
Everyone together.
Good video there, so we'll play that at some other time, Rabbi. But ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the formal parts of this evening. So great thanks to Rabbi and Mrs. Jaffe, to Bronte and Shani and the team to putting on this event, to Minister Leonard and to Vicky Howard for joining us, and everyone else, the children. Can please a round of applause again for the children who